So recently on the channel I've reviewed Fallout 4 and that video has done really well, so first off I want to thank you guys for clicking on that video and watching it all the way through and stuff. It really does mean a lot to me if you guys watch these videos all the way through and maybe leave a like and subscribe. It always means a lot to me. But also recently I've gotten the next gen consoles, the Xbox Series S, and with the Series S, it comes with a better capability of handling more frames per second. Now the Series S can handle 120 frames at a maximum, but you need a monitor that's compatible with that. Now I don't have a monitor that can handle that. The maximum my monitor can handle is only 60 FPS, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. I can handle 60 FPS. 60 looks amazing. So coming, before even playing the game on the Series S, I was expecting to at least come into at least 60 FPS. The only way to get 120 frames is to have a feature selected in your game that's called FPS Boosting. Basically all that does is boost your frames to 120 so that it can handle 120 FPS. And so when I first loaded into Fallout 4, I know and started moving around and stuff, I right off the bat noticed, hold on a second, this is not 60 frames per second. This is actually 120, and when you press the Xbox home button, it shows you that you have FPS boosting enabled, which I was shocked that even happened, but don't get me wrong, I ain't complaining. I'm loving the frames per second. This game looks amazing on next-gen consoles. Just running this game off of the vanilla version with no mods enabled or anything, this game runs so smoothly. With Fallout 4 on the old-gen consoles, don't get me wrong, it ran nice on its basic settings, but the loading times were long. The frames were okay. They were tolerable. I think they were probably 30 frames at a maximum at a given time, which you can play with that. But you can definitely tell the difference between 30 and 60 frames and then 60 to 120 frames. It's insane, the difference right there. I even checked if it was just Fallout 4 that only had this feature, or maybe bug, I guess you could say, that enables FPS boosting. But when I went on to Fallout 76, Fallout 76 also has that option enabled. I don't know why. If anyone knows the reason why that happens down in the comments, please let me know, because I'm lost right now. Because when I also went on to another game, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, to see if that has greater frames on the next gen console. It doesn't. It only maxes out at 60 FPS. So if anyone has any idea how that works, please let me down in the comments. But besides from this game looking and feeling amazing, the load times, which I have to say is probably one of the best features, the load times are just insanely fast. With Fallout 4 on old gen consoles, you'd roughly have to sit there for maybe 30 seconds, maximum a minute, if you're loading in from one place and fast traveling into another place. Sometimes those loading times, if you're fast traveling a lot, they would be so long and you'd just be sitting there sitting at a screen. But with Fallout 4 on the next gen consoles, you're only maybe sitting there 15-20 seconds tops for loading times, which is insane. Us Fallout 4 players, we've all been through it, where we fast traveled somewhere and went through this long loading screen just to realize, oh shit, wait, I forgot to grab something. I have to go back to my settlement and go grab this OP weapon or something real quick just to equip it, and you're dreading the thought of it because the load times are so long on the old gen consoles. But with the next gen ones on the Xbox Series S, non-existent anymore. You don't care if there's a load time. It's just like a snap. So the load times, absolutely amazing. Love them 100%. But another thing I was also curious about coming into playing Fallout 4 on the next gen are the mods. How can next gen handle a shit ton of mods? Well, the answer is pretty good, depending on where you're at in the map. We all know when we go down to downtown Boston and we have mods installed, that shit's just gonna crash every 30 seconds, dude. You're not gonna be able to do shit down there. And your frames, when you go downtown, oh, dude, non-existent. You can just kiss that goodbye. But on next gen, it doesn't run at 100% being downtown Boston with all the mods installed, especially map texture mods. When you have those enabled and you go to downtown Boston, it's gonna run pretty smoothly for a little bit, but it's going to crash every maybe couple minutes or so. If you get into gunfights where there's a lot of stuff that's just drawing down your frames per second, yeah, your game is most likely gonna crash. So the only way to solve that is to either two ways. The first way, you just quick save a shit ton, dude, just in case if your game crashes. You either quick save, or two, I found out restarting your console after so many times that the game has crashed, restarting the console clears up that excess cache data, so that your game doesn't crash as much anymore. Don't get me wrong, eventually it will, but that initial start, when after restarting it, getting back into the game, you got a good little while before your game's gonna crash again. Because don't get me wrong, it's inevitable. It's going to happen with this game. Besides, it's a Bethesda game. It's gonna crash. If anything, that's only like my biggest issue with the next gen version of Fallout 4 is that yeah, it's gonna crash quite a bit, but it is a Bethesda game. But even when it crashes, since the loading times and starting up the game, the time it takes to start up the game, it's really reduced from the old gen consoles, that when you do crash and you have to restart your game, it's not that bad. It doesn't hurt as bad, because if anything, it takes a good 30 seconds from when you quit out of the game, fully restart it up, maybe a good 30 seconds, and then bam, you're back in the game, which is awesome. So that's basically it for my next gen Fallout 4 version review. If you want a more fuller, in-depth review of Fallout 4, go ahead and click this video right here to go check that out. And if you're interested, please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below in the comment section. Tell me what you think. If you disliked the video or whatnot, tell me why. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one, alright? Peace.